I'm beginning here for my principles of design with contrast. I'm making some black straight lines, and now I'm going to add yellow and make some curved circles. So I'm contrasting color, black and white, and I'm contrasting line, where I have this curve mixed with a straight. Next, I'm going to move on to balance. So balance, we want to think of equal weight, both sides. So I made two pencils here, one going up, one going down. I'm coloring in one of the pencils blue. I'm going to leave the other pencil white and color in the background blue. So we have this interesting design happening, and I'm trying to balance the weight of the image. And here I'm just outlining with a little bit of black just to give it a little more emphasis. So next I'm moving on to rhythm and repetition, and so what I did here is I created leaves, and you're going to see some of the exact same style of leaves that I drew, and then I changed up a little bit, but the subject matter is the same, and I scattered them across my little square to create that rhythm and that repetition. So I'm using colored pencils here to color this in, keeping it the same color most of the time, just different tones of green. Next, I'm moving on to variety. So variety, you want to think variety, different. So I chose to actually repeat the same shape, but I'm changing the size of the shape. So some are big, some are small. You could totally change the shapes and add just a ton of different things in your image. That's what variety is for, to change it up. So I make different sizes, and now I'm changing the quality of the line underneath, making it a curved versus a straight. And then I'm just coloring in with colored pencil here, layering colors. And next I move on to unity. So unity, you want to think like a unified image. So I am unifying this image with the same shape all the way through. I'm overlapping hearts, and I'm unifying it with color. I am choosing all tones of violets, reds, and pinks. So I'm not exploring too many different colors here. And I'm going to go ahead and color in some of these hearts solid just to make it look a little more interesting. But overall, the piece is unified. It all goes together. Moving on to pattern. Now pattern, I want you to think more complex in nature. I don't want it to be just straight line, wavy line, straight line, wavy line. Think about how you can make more complex patterns. So here I'm creating a type of zigzag. So I'm repeating the zigzag line, but I'm now changing colors, and I'm going to add different colors in different parts of the zigzag. So you see how I'm taking something simple, a zigzag line, but I'm making it more complex with color, and it's not a perfect zigzag. Sometimes it goes up higher, sometimes it goes up lower. So I'm creating a little more interest with my patterning. So pattern is a good thing to play with, to push yourself beyond your sort of basic patterns that you know already. Now on to emphasis. I really like emphasis. So emphasis, you're trying to draw the viewer's eye into a certain area of your image. So in this image, I want you to notice this cupcake here. And how I'm going to do that is I make the cupcake pretty vibrant, and then I'm going to make the background a bit more dull. I'm not going to saturate the background with a lot of bright colors because I want you to just really focus on that cupcake. That doesn't mean everything else needs to be boring. Notice I'm adding some cool patterns in the background. But now I'm just moving to a pencil, and I'm just going to give it some value. I'm going to shade it in, and then it's a nice contrast between the gray of the pencil with the vibrancy of the marker. So I have contrast in there, and it provides that emphasis. You focus on the cupcake. Lastly, I will move on to movement. So this is pretty literal. You want whatever it is you're going to draw to provide movement across the paper. Think of almost like a dance across the paper. So I thought obviously of like an ocean or a seascape and waves, because they provide a lot of movement. And so I'm doing this with just some wavy lines. I'm using some dash lines up in the sky to show maybe some wind. Just a really cool stylized effect to show that movement. So be creative here, use a lot of gestural marks, and make something move across your paper. So here are the principles of design. Hopefully this helps you in thinking about how you want to create your images, combining these principles with the elements to create some really interesting work.